This is The Greatest Salesman in the World, Part 2. The Greatest Salesman in the World, Part 2. I'm gonna make sure that I am straight in the camera. So annoying. Let's keep the hair like this. It's a little bit better. It is a little bit better. It's an old book, true. So let's listen to it piece by piece. And you can learn some English, guys. Can you get a hair clip? Stop annoying us? Don't watch the live stream, and I won't annoy you. For daily speech, did you use the Netherlands speech or English speech? Dutch. We don't speak English here. We're good at English. But not in a daily life. Not in our daily life. Listen up. Here we go. I have cheated myself for too long. I have given my lip service to those who have employed me and begrudged every hour of what I considered was boring toil. What this means simply is I spend my time talking to people that don't respect me. Work, to me, was the sorry price I had to pay to exist, because the gods had not seen fit at my birth to place gold in my hands and a crown on my head. What a fool I have been. He says, I just have to work because the gods did not give me a rich life, and I went through it with pain. What a fool I have been. Why? Because now I know that the fruit derived from labor is the sweetest of all pleasures, and while a genius may commence great works, only labor will complete them. You can do nothing without the work. You can have books, but if you don't read them, you can learn from books, but if you don't apply it, I can teach you, but if you don't do English, you're never gonna learn. How much easier my work would be if I put forth as much effort trying to improve the quality of it as I have spent in trying to find excuses for not properly attending it. He says if I stop making excuses, if I stop wasting time making excuses for anything, how much easier my work would be. People always complaining about their job, but never fixing it, never trying to make it better. True story. I should also stop complaining. There is one towering secret of success which dwarfs all other rules. One secret that is very important. It is certain to be included in every list of affirmations on creating a better life for centuries and millenniums to come, and yet most of mankind will reject it again and again as too difficult. He says there's a secret which can help you out, but it might be too difficult for a lot of people. Wealth, position, fame, and even elusive happiness will be mine, eventually, if I determine to render more and better service each day than I am being paid to render. If I do more effort than what I get paid to do, I will get wealth, position, and fame. There is another and more powerful way to remember this most difficult law of life. When one is asked to go 1 mile, one should willingly go 2. Centuries from now, even as today, only a few will have the determination to follow this great secret of achievers, and they will be the honored ones. Doing more than you are asked to do, that is how people remember you, he says. Nobody remembers the person who did average. You did your job, nobody is gonna remember your name. You do more than your job or in a field that is more important, that means something. That means something. Interesting. I commence today. Commence means to start. Commence. Commence. I commence today. I start today. Never again will I perform any task at less than my best. Never again will I perform any task at less than my best. I will always try my best. Always. Now I know that in order to grow and flourish, I must attend strictly to business and keep a little in advance of the times. Those who reach the top are the ones who are not content with doing only what is required of them. They do more. They go another mile and another. The measurement of their I don't know this word, sorry. The measurement of their recompense never enters their mind. They know that eventually they will receive their reward. Recompense, I've never heard of this. Recompense? Recompense. The measurement of their, that is the stuff that comes to you. I know what it means by reading it, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Oopsie. It is what they are meant to be given. They know that eventually they will receive their reward. They don't force anything right now to happen. They know that eventually they will receive their reward. There is but one certain method of achieving one's goals, and that is through hard labor, both mental and physical. If I am not willing to pay the price for distinction, I should be prepared to resign myself to a future of tears and poverty, while I beat my chest in self-pity over the futility of a life void of smiles and rewards. He says, if I'm not willing to labor hard, if I'm not willing to put the work in, then I can only feel regret for not doing that for the rest of my life. I no longer feel sorry for myself. I have stepped off that path to nowhere. That's important. He says feeling sorry for myself leads nowhere. So he says I stopped feeling sorry for myself. Because that's a road to nowhere. Never again will I perform any task at less than my best. I am not chained to my work. I am not a slave. Even if I detest the tasks I must perform, I understand that drudgery is necessary to call out the treasures of my mind, so that I can improve my lot, as harrowing and planting are those produce results for those tilling the soil. That's a really tough sentence. Do you have TikTok? We are on TikTok right now. Hi. Let me do that sentence one more time. That's a tough one. It's a really long sentence too. Even if I detest the tasks I must perform, I understand that drudgery is as necessary to call out the treasures of my mind, so that I can improve my lot, as harrowing and planting are the produce results for those tilling the soil. It simply means that I must do the thing that I am supposed to do, so I can pay for the things that I want, and I can get to where I want to be. Harrowing. Great word. Great. These are really old English words, but they're beautiful. They are beautiful. Let me see. I can grow beyond any task assigned to me now, providing I never forget that I am a child of God, born to victory. I'm not born to lose, born for victory. I'm not religious, but I like it. Whatever my job may be, let me perform it with love, and I will not fail. My share of the work of this day may be limited, but the fact that it weird sounds. It's a ghost. But the fact that it is work makes it precious. The world is moved not only by the mighty muscles of our heroes, but also by the aggregate of the tiny pushes of each honest worker. Remember, guys, you don't have to be an Elon Musk. Every job has so much value. That is what he is saying. The garbage man has a lot of value. Your job means something. The aggregate, which means the combination of tiny pushes of each honest worker. The aggregate is just like math. It's like if you add all the workers together, it matters. It does matter. The secret of true love of work is the hope of success in that work. Not for the money reward, not for the time spent, or for the skill exercised, but for the pride and satisfaction in the accomplishment of the work itself. What if you're unemployed? That's a problem in this book, because we're talking about having that job. A sufficient reward for a thing well done is to have done it. Listen to that again. A sufficient reward for having a thing well done is to have done it. Never again will I perform any task at less than my best. Henceforth, when my day's work has ended, I will surprise the world. I will remain at my task just a little longer, and let that extra effort be an investment in my tomorrow. Just a little bit of extra effort to have a better tomorrow. With such an attitude, so rare in this selfish world we inhabit, I cannot feel. It is rare that people do extra effort. So you cannot fail if you do that extra effort. And yet, if I labor in such a manner, if I persist in traveling the extra mile, I must prepare myself for years from those who never contribute a fair day's work. It's not years and it's years. It's an old English word. Jeers. You can look it up. Jeers. I have to prepare myself from years from those who never contribute a fair day's work. Haters. I feel like years means haters. In order to accomplish some great thing in this short life, I realize that I must apply myself to work with such a concentration of my mind and my muscle and my time that, though to those who live in squalor of idleness, I may appear to have given leave of my senses. So be it. It simply means that if you do extra work, those people that are just average will call you crazy. Why are you doing extra work for this job? You are crazy. He says, it may appear I do this, so be it. He says, I don't care. Whatever the other people say, I don't care. Never again will I perform any task at less than my best. Give me love and work, these two only, and I will be able to live a contented life. I could not long be happy without food or drink or clothes or shelter. But I may have all these things to perfection and still be unhappy. He says, you can have everything but be unhappy. What is the best thing for a river? It is to keep moving. If it stops, it stagnates. The best thing for me is that which keeps my currents flowing. Few people realize how much of their happiness is dependent upon their work, upon the fact that they are kept busy, not left to feed upon themselves. Your work is so important to your happiness because you do it every day, guys. So find something that you like. The prime secret of happiness is something to do. Never again will I perform any task at less than my best. Never again will I feel to go the extra mile and render less than my pay deserves. Always try your best. That's what he says. I will do my work henceforth from now on with all the intensity I can put forth, with everything I got. Not just my work and no more, but a little more. That little more which in time will be worth all the rest. And if I suffer, as I often will, and if I doubt the value of my efforts, as I must on occasion, I will still do my work. If I suffer, I'll keep going. If I don't see the value in my work, I'll keep going. That's what he says. I will put my heart into it, and the sky will clear, and from out of the very doubt and suffering will be born the supreme joy of life. Let me always obey this special vow of success. Never again will I perform any task at less than my best. And that is chapter 14 of The Greatest Salesman in the World, part 2. The Greatest Salesman in the World, part 2. You can read back the story in our Discord and Telegram. I'll check if I can get you the chapter later, guys. To summarize this chapter, he just says, find happiness in your job. Do your job a little bit more than you think you have to. Do more than what people ask you for. Because that way you can find joy in your work. And you need to find joy in your work because it's such a big part of your life. And no matter what your job is valuable. You don't need to be an Elon Musk or a Bill Gates because every single job is valuable. So remember that when you do your work. Give it your best and you will get the most out of your life. Because why would you waste 8 hours a day doing something not to the best of what you can do? You want to ruin 1/3 of your day for 40 years? Try your best and you will get the best in return, guys. That's what this chapter meant. Good chapter, a good reminder. I still like the last chapter more, but this is a good chapter to remind you. How much battery do I have left? 7%. We will go until my battery is empty. Don't forget, being a garbage man is valuable. Being an electrician is valuable. There is no city without your